Hi everybody, David Paul with you in the KHOU 11 Weather Center. The question I've been getting everywhere I go is, David, when are we going to get our first real strong cold front? We haven't had a strong cold front yet this season where we've had to bust out sweaters and jackets. That actually is beginning to come into focus in the long-range forecast modeling, and I wanted to step in and show that to you because I also want to have our first strong cold front and bust out a sweater for a day or two. Looking at the map, boy, classic November. We've got a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico, although that's a little unusual. Rafael's going to weaken and head south and not directly impact us. Well, at the same time there's a hurricane, there's also a winter storm here. This one's been dumping heavy snow across the Colorado Rockies and the plains of Colorado, eastern Colorado, the past couple of days. Dumped several feet with blizzard conditions in the northern portions of the New Mexico mountains the past couple of days. But this system in that front is not going to be the one that pushes cold air in here, although there is some chilly air with Denver hovering near freezing all day here in the Rockies. And you can see the frontal boundary is right in here. We will have a little bit of relief Saturday, but it's not going to bring in any cold air. We'll still make a high of 80 degrees Saturday afternoon, and we've been in the 80s all day. But looking at North America, we actually do have a situation where we've got cold air on the North American continent. Kugluktuk's at 1. Alert's 8 below, Old Crow's at 12, Barrow's at 16, Churchill's at 25. So there is very cold air across northern Canada and the Klondike. What we need is a mechanism to drive that cold air south all the way down into Houston and Texas. And that would take a big dip in the jet stream to get it there. And so far this fall, we just haven't had that dip in the jet. What we've had is what we have right now. This is called a zonal flow jet stream. So you've got winds that are blowing west to east across North America. That's the northern branch of the jet. There's the southern branch of the jet, very active. But that west to east orientation of the jet doesn't allow for the cold air that I just showed you up here to come south. What we need is the jet to make a big dip to drive that air, that cold air south. Well, we think that may finally happen, but not for about 10 days. Now, let me take you out in time here. This is going into Monday, November the 11th, after the weekend. And that is a warm weather pattern for Houston. There's a ridge sitting down here. So Houston, Texas will stay rather warm as we head through the first part of next week. But at the same time that's happening, we do have a Pacific system, a Pacific cold front that'll be entering the Pacific Northwest on Monday. Now, this front is going to come along right across the Rockies and push through Houston as we head into Wednesday and Thursday of next week. So that will open the door to some cooler air. But that's not cold, that's cooler air. It's Pacific air coming in on that jet stream coming in west to east. Again, what we need is a big dip in the jet to drive that cold air out of Canada and have it head south. And we are beginning to see in the long-range modeling hints that that may be happening. So this is going into November 15th. This is next Friday. And look at the jet. That's beginning to get north to south. That type of jet pattern and the associated trough opens the door for a surface front to form, and that would be the leading edge of that cold air being driven south. And so if this forecast verifies, that dip in the jet is going to drive that front all the way down into Houston as we head into Monday, November 18th. So that's 10 days out from when I'm making this recording. So obviously still some uncertainty that pattern plays out, but the models have been hinting at this for the past several days. And if this does verify, we're going to finally get some colder air down in here. And that mess of a jet stream pattern indicates it may be colder and wetter as well going into November 18th. So hints that the second half of the month of November, we may finally get a real cold front in here where we would wear sweaters and jackets and the real fall fashion we've been wanting to wear for what's been a very unusually warm October and November. Here's the 7-day forecast as it stands. We stay warm through the weekend, mid-80s, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. This is the Pacific front coming in, which will make it more fall-like, cooler Thursday and Friday of next week. But according to the models, we got to wait all the way until the following Monday, the 18th, to maybe get that Canadian cold front in here and finally bring some real late fall, early winter-like temperatures to Houston, Texas.